Hey everybody, my name's Ryan Ray Cruz. I am coming to you from the living room of the house that I nanny at, and it is currently nap time, so I figured I would go ahead and get this done. So the reading I chose to do was reading 81, and it is called Betrayed by the Angel: What Happens When Violence Knocks and Politeness Answers by Deborah Ann Davis in 2004. Um, I really found this reading really interesting to learn about because I think it's something that all of us have gone through at one point or another, maybe not to the extent of when she's talking about being raped, but definitely like, maybe classroom bully issues and other things like that. I just felt like it was a really strong piece, and she was very brave to write about it, especially when it did come to the rape, because that's something that's, very traumatic for a woman. And it's something that I don't think she ever fully gets over. And as you can tell, she, was at, 25 years old, and when it's first happening and she's first talking about it, like how hard it was for her. And then, she gets to 35 and she's just sitting in a coffee shop reading a book, and you could tell that it still bothered her when a man was asking her questions and things like that. So you could just tell it was still a very raw, very hard emotion for her to still have a discussion about. And I mean, I guess going back to the beginning of it is where I can really relate. Not to get into too much detail, but I had gone through something similar myself, not to the extent of being raped, but where it was hard for me to come forward and say what had happened and admit that it actually happened. That's a hard thing for a woman to go through, especially when it's dealing with sexual assault or physical abuse, emotional abuse, any of that kind of thing. It's a hard pill to swallow per se. Um, and I think it's definitely something that people struggle with on a daily basis. And this can be for both men too. I don't want to exclude the guys out of the discussion in the class that, I mean, guys can go through the same things that women do too. You just hear more of women getting violence from men versus men getting violence on women. Um, so that's just, I think that's just a natural thing. It's just you don't hear a whole lot of that, and um, so it's definitely a hard thing. I think whether you're emotionally abused, sexually abused, physically abused, for both um, males and females, it's a hard concept to come to want to come forward and say the truth, because you're afraid of what's going to happen or things like that. I mean, you're afraid for all different reasons. And also, I think this can refer to children as well. Like when you know of child abuse and neglect, or, you don't have to necessarily be an adult to experience these things. You can be children too. And so I just think this reading just went really well, was a really well kept reading, and really piqued my interest when it came to all the rest of the readings in the chapter as well. Um, so I do have a couple questions for you guys this week. My first question would be, so if you know or have been through situations much like the situations in the book, and without going into a lot of detail, I mean, I don't feel that you need to share all those with me, but if you'd like to, go ahead. But would you speak up right away? Would you speak up for that person? Would you speak up for yourself in those types of situations, just to help somebody get out of a situation like that, or get yourself out of that situation? And my second question would be is what kind of message could we send to today's youth in accordance to these readings? Um, because I think that's really important to know, like, kind of. because, like I said, children can go through this too. But what kind of message could we send to them to help them out as well? I hope this video made sense. I was really nervous. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.